Hey, darling, you know you don't have to overthink this thing about becoming an independent woman, right? Yeah, I know it's everywhere. Independent woman, independent woman, independent woman. And at the same time, you also really, really want to become an independent woman. But first of all, do you even know the meaning of an independent woman? Let me break it down to you. Being an independent person basically means being a responsible adult. That's the that's the easiest form. That's the easiest meaning. It doesn't mean being super rich. It doesn't mean having your own car, your own house, and all those things. No, that is you overthinking things. We all have our processes. So take it a step at a time. So let me give you this scenario. Let's assume I have a friend that cooks for me every Monday just because she loves to cook. Then this particular Monday she traveled. Does that mean I'm going to starve that day? Does that mean I'm not going to eat anything? Either I cook myself or I get a food or I buy something, I have to eat. That is me being responsible for myself. The fact that she's not around does not mean I won't be able to eat as a responsible adult. But let's assume I'm not able to eat or I have to starve just because she's not around, then that's me being irresponsible. That is me being dependent on her. Also, being independent doesn't mean you don't need a man. Being independent doesn't mean you don't need support. We all need to understand our limitations. We all need to understand who we are. And we all need to understand the real meaning of being independent. So don't overwork yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Don't have a low self-esteem because you think someone has money, someone has house. Just make sure you're doing your best where you are. I need you to understand that we all have our processes and time. So if you are a student and you're still receiving allowance from your parents, that doesn't make you less independent. That just means you are not financially independent at the moment, which is okay because there is time for everything. You're still a student. So since you have people that can provide for you right now, why suffer yourself? Why? You don't have to. Most times when we hear independence, we just assume financially. That means the person has her own money, person has her own house, the person has her own whip. No, there are different type of independence. There is financial independence, which is the most common one. There is mental independence, there is emotional independence, and there is spiritual independence. You need to know that. You need to work on all these forms of independence before you can say you are fully independent. Some men can provide, some men are financially independent, they have money, they can throw money around, but they are not emotionally independent, they are not mentally independent. One, mental independence. Mental independence is the ability of an individual to think on his or her own. That means you can make decisions on your own. You can think, okay, this is what I want to do. Some people can make decisions on their own. Whenever they want to make decisions, they have to ask around, and whatever people say they should do, that is what they should do. That is mental dependence. You are mental dependent on people's opinion and not on what you think is right or good for your own self. Two, financial and professional independence. This works hand in hand. You can't be financially independent if you don't have a job. So financial and professional independence, professional part means you have a job that gives you money. You have the jobs that gives you savings. So if you are a student and you feel like, oh, I can't combine being professional with being a student, then take your time. Take it one step at a time. Don't rush yourself. Three, emotional independence. You need to be able to control your own emotions. You need to know how to create your own happiness. Not until you have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend. Okay, this time around, I think I'm talking to ladies. So, not until you have a boyfriend that makes you happy, then that is when you're happy. Not until you see your friends around. You have to be able to create your own happiness by yourself. Someone else's feelings or mood does not have to control yours. That is emotional independence. And most times, or all the time, I will advise a lady to be emotionally independent before even attempting to go into a relationship because that really messes with a lot of us. Lastly, I'll talk about spiritual independence. This is when you have your own personal relationship with God. You have to know, do I want to be in this religion or not? That means if that person is not in your life, you don't even understand your own personal relationship with God. Some of you, all religion depends on who you are dating. If you're dating a Muslim, you are a Muslim for that period. If you're dating a Christian, you are a Christian for that period. If you're dating a traditional worshiper, you're a traditional worshiper for that period. It shouldn't be like that. You should be spiritually independent. Know what you want, know who you want to serve.